You guys mind if we film a little bit what you guys are saying about the park?
Really?
Lizzie is, her name is Lizzie, by the way.
She's beautiful.
Lizzie is
The tree's
8
name?
years old.
That's
She's
only 8 years?
8 years old.
That's huge.
And that one is about 9 or 10 years old. That was a little older when we got her. And see this big, the tallest one here? That was a seedling. That tall one right up there, that maple tree.
Yep.
That was a seedling. My grandson started it in a little flower pot like that. And I put it in here about 7 years ago. And she stood about this tall. Now, his name is Marcus.
Marcus.
Marcus, yeah. The big one is Leslie behind you.
I can see how these two are women.
You know.
The flower was for my girlfriend, and
Penny.
Penny scolded me, but I told her I was in love, so.
I think that
Yeah,
flowers and
yeah.
love, they dovetail.
It's okay. If I had to worry
cool.
about everybody plucking flowers over there, I'd go nuts. I used
Do a
to,
lot of
but
people
not
do it?
anymore. Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty, you know. Listen, I have to cut them off sooner or later anyway. There was this site, 2 buildings were here, and they were abandoned, and it used to be called the Toilets. And they used to sell drugs out of the 2 buildings. And one day, we fought for 3 years to get them out, and we couldn't get them out. The church helped, you know, Father Kennington when he was here. We roamed the streets and everything. You know Father Kennington?
Didn't they do a big special on him on PBS?
Oh yes, I love that man. He was a great person.
Penny, thank you for the flower.
You're
I have
welcome.
to go.
You're welcome. Enjoy
Beautiful
it.
garden you have.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
And,
Bye-bye.
the police were raiding it one time, undercover cops, and one tried to jump from a window that was where that chain link fence is to that little rooftop right there. See that little rooftop right there?
Yeah.
And the piece of slate that was there fell. And he fell with it right down into that pit. And he got hurt, and it took them like 2 hours to get to him. And a couple of weeks later, they knocked down the buildings. So
Took that.
yeah, it took that. We had an empty lot here for a couple of months, and finally we formed a block association. And
That was 8 years ago?
we were lucky. 10 years ago.
10 years.
And we were lucky we got the site.
It's so beautiful. It's
Oh
like-
yeah, we got an anonymous donor to give us $25,000. We bought soil and everything, and sod, and we worked our tails off because we had a deadline. We got it done, and then a few weeks later, everything started to die. All our sod. We had a beautiful dogwood. It died. We had beautiful plants. They started dying. And we had to call some specialist in here to test the soil. This professor came in and he took the soil and he checked it out, and he came back and he said, "You know what's wrong with this garden, with the soil?" He says, 86, everything that's in here, save the plants that you can save. He says, "Go get yourself some horse manure."
Really?
So we went, we cleaned out all the stables on the west side. We had to put 18-inch high horse manure in here. It had to be 18 inches high.
And you had to take dirt
Because
out too?
The soil, no. We
put it on
left the
top.
soil. We had to take out all the
Plants.
sod and everything in the plants. So whatever we could save, I stuck over there in the corner. And we put the horse manure down, and then we waited for the winter to come. Winter came, the snow, the rain, and everything. Everybody dropped out, and that had to be turned. So I had to do it myself because nobody else wanted to do it. And, you know, it's a waste.
Wow.
You know, I laid down all those bricks, that whole walkway, I laid down.
Wow.
You know, and I said, no, I killed myself. The walkway, the cobblestones, I went to the park, there's no cobblestones. You know, I put a lot of work into this garden.
Once people saw you working, did anybody come?
No, honey. I've been doing this alone all these years. Once in a blue moon, I'll get some help from Green Thumb or something, and that's it. We got my duck in the pot there. She's 10 years old. She's 10 years old. Do you know when we made this garden, we were told not to put any plastic things in here because, you know, sit down. The Block Association didn't want anything in here that was too cutesy. So I brought that duck. I saw it in Queens on the lawn with 2 little baby ducks. And I said, that would look beautiful on the lawn in the garden. So I put it there. And my friend came in and he says, you better go in the garden right away because so-and-so said that the ducks have to go. I said, what is she, crazy? She didn't put in that 1 hour's work in there. I put in 15, 17 hours a day in there. No. I said, that duck stays. I came in here and I told her, I said, listen, I'm going to tell you all right now. The ducks stay. Because if the ducks go, I'm going to belt somebody with a baseball bat upside their head. That's my duck and it stays here. I put enough of work in here. And she sits there, 10 years old. You know what she's put together with?
What?
Glue and wood. Half of the neck is broken off, so I filled it in with a paper towel holder.
Oh yeah.
And I put a piece of wood in there to make it stay
Put
straight.
the scarf around where the...
Then I put tape around it, and then after I put the tape, I put rubber glue all over it. That duck is rubber glued the whole body, so that when the water hits it, it bounces right off the rubber glue, and it painted. I couldn't lose her. She was broken in 15 pieces, just but she's there.
And survived.
She survived. She leaves when I leave.